Hello. Well, yes, that was quite a night of boxing last night. Hasn't been one quite like it for a while, definitely. Where shall we start? Well, let's begin from the very beginning. Frank Sanchez, he stopped Junior Fa in 7 rounds. Yeah, unfortunately, due to some kind of error, I don't know which something was wrong with my DAZN app, so I didn't get to see it from the start. But I, g- I tuned in from the fifth round. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looked like he Fa did give some resistance. He put up a solid fight, but he was just overmatched. I mean, simply, I knew it. I knew he had no chance ultimately against Frank Sanchez, who is both a clever boxer and a strong guy, and obviously a guy who has some power as well. So he caught Fa Junior Fa with a beautiful right cross late in round six, and then he that was the first knockdown, and he scored two more in the seventh round, and that was it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what's next for Frank Sanchez because he has really shown he's got what it takes to really compete with the very best, of course, as it heavyweight. He's not a tall heavyweight, but he's still a big heavyweight when it comes to build. He's very muscular and yeah, strong, all that. So he actually looked more buff than most heavyweights that fought last night. Including Makhmudov and Kabayel and Valin. And yeah, so none of them look particularly muscular, even though they are all well, they are rather big guys. Anyway, yeah, that was the first fight. The second one was Filip Hergovich, stopping the way overmatched Mark the Mori in 1 round. However, the Mori did put up a fight, no shame there. I mean, but he just got caught, and of course, Hergovich, 10 years younger, 4 inches taller, the bigger guy altogether, and a better fighter, better boxer altogether also. So yeah, I find this kind of an insult actually to her that he had to fight a guy like Demori, but that's boxing politics. So now he's in line to fight the winner of Fury versus Usyk, so that's of course very good for him. Yeah, can't wait to see that fight. Whoever it is, I would actually prefer to see him fight Fury because Usyk he doesn't stand as good chances, in my opinion, against Usyk as against Fury because Fury is another really big, huge guy. Doesn't have the same kind of speed or movement as Usyk or defense. So for Hergovic, Usyk would be not impossible challenge, but a very difficult one. Yeah, I believe. Yeah. All right. And then there was the big upset. Wow, man. Git Caballel, in my prediction video, I said I thought he could win on points, but he actually won by a stoppage in the fourth round, man. That was amazing. I mean, Mahmoudov just folded, once he started because this was the true test, first true test. Once he started getting hit real good by a guy who he can hit, he can move and box. Caballero, he just folded. He didn't react well. I mean, he did throw back. Tried to stay in the fight, but just wasn't able to because of his size and bad mobility. And he lacks in footwork, of course, and his defense always looked rather leaky to me. And but he never fought a guy like Cabell. I mean, somebody as good or in their prime. I mean, the fact that had to go the distance against Takam, that was the first sign that he might not be as formidable as he seems to be or was built up to be. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this doesn't look good for him. Simple as if you can't take punches from a guy like Caballero, how the hell are you gonna take punches from a guy like Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury or Philip Hergovich or Frank Sanchez or whatever? Caballero is decent puncher, but he had like 15 knockouts before this of 23 wins. Not a really knockout artist's record, I would say, but a guy who has some, has solid power, but not outstanding, I would say. So still, he was really impressive, and wow, what a victory! 4 rounds. Who could have expected that? I sure hell couldn't. But yeah, I mean, Makhmudov was still untested, relatively. So now he has been tested. He failed the test. So now he can go back to the drawing board and see what he did wrong, what he can do better, maybe if he can do anything better. So yeah, and then there was the pretty good fight. Also, Daniel Dubois stopped. Wow, Jarrell Miller, who looked so out of shape, man. He was so rather grossly. I mean, for a professional boxer, he looked grossly overweight. Actually, he did. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, he didn't offer that much. He had some good moments and all that, but Dubois just, he just tattooed him throughout the fight, tagged him constantly, and Miller has really good chin. I mean, I would even say great chin. Otherwise, he would have been stopped before, of course. Maybe already in the fifth round, not in the end of the 10th. So, of course, Dubois has power, serious power, I would say. Yeah. So, a really good performance by Daniel Dubois. And I think Miller needed this, as a wake up call. Somebody, he needed to be told, hey, you're not so special, and the only reason probably because you were undefeated is because you used, illegal substances that enhanced your stamina and everything. So yeah, but he still should not be completely excluded from the picture. But I think it is hard. It will be hard for him to come back into contention, like really be a serious contender now. He needs to work on his shape, lose a lot of weight, and yeah, yes. Also, we had the only world title match. Unfortunately, this was rather, I don't know what to say, rather ridiculous with so many big names that there was only one world title fight. Oh yeah, that's right, Jairo Petaya. He scored a really stunning first round knockout, and he should have been the IBF. It should have been for the IBF cruiserweight title, but it wasn't because they stripped him some ridiculous reason. I don't want to comment that. But yeah, he knocked out Alice Zorro at the end of the first round. Oh man, what a left hook! Shit, that was scary, really. I mean, he seems like he's just getting better and better. Opetaya. But yeah, of course, Zoro was hardly a really, an even match, but still, an unbeaten young fighter, didn't look that bad. So it's a good victory still. And yeah, Opetaya now, he will hopefully go on to so fight somebody maybe like Chris Billon Smith or yeah, somebody like that. All right, and then yeah, Dimitri Bivol he really dominated Lyndon Arthur. Oh man, that was ridiculous how one-sided that fight was. Oh man, really, really one-sided. But yeah, I mean, Bivol just doesn't seem to have that power, to stop guys who are like. And Lyndon Arthur is a big light heavyweight, not least. He's 6'2", and has got he's muscular. Yeah, he's a guy who could easily have fought at cruiserweight. So, but because of this situation now in boxing, where guys can just lose weight like overnight and put it back on, and the next day, you got many people who fight, in lower. I mean, beneath their natural weight. I would say, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Lyndon Arthur. I mean, what can I say? I watched him on an Insta live once. Nice guy. Yeah, I would say nice guy, and he was certainly brave to take all that beating and wow, man. He landed a couple of nice one, particularly in a good body shot that seemed to hurt Bivol. I can't recall which round it was, but maybe eight or nine. I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty much all he did, and he was just outclassed by it. I would say definitely one of top five pound for pound fighters right now, boxers. There's no doubt if anybody doesn't include Dimitri Bivol amongst the top five, they are just biased. They are biased as fuck. They're just stupid, I would even say. Yeah. So that guy is so insanely skilled, so talented. Oh man, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. He's so good. I mean, he fucking schooled Canelo, people. He schooled Canelo. Come on, huh? How crazy is that? So yeah, I mean, I don't think even Floyd Mayweather did it better. I mean, and that was a much younger, greener, less complete Canelo, right? Yeah. So Mayweather fans can, just go to hell. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. Fuck Floyd Mayweather. By the way, asshole. Fuck you, fucking asshole. Anyway, douchebag. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? There, of course, we had the big fights, heavyweight ones with Wilder finished finished. Retire right now, Deontay. Please, right now. You were terrible. You didn't fucking land five punches last night, alright? You were crap, and he almost got stopped, of course, in the eighth round by Parker. In Joseph Parker, really good performance, but at the same time, he doesn't deserve too much credit because he was fighting a guy who has been shot to pieces by Fury. A guy who has he's simply certainly damaged goods. And that's what you get when you are a guy who his your whole career you've been fighting on your power, on that one big right hand. When you are dependent on landing that big right hand, forget about it. Sooner or later you're gonna hit the rocks, right? So when you cannot land it, you're fucked, right? So that's how it goes. And yeah, what else is to say? Nothing really. And then Joshua versus Valine. What a big disappointment. Valine didn't show up in his best, right? His best version, sure as hell, did not show up. So I got nothing much to say there. He tried. In the first couple rounds, he even looked, or three maybe. He looked like he was doing alright. I mean, trying to make it competitive. And yeah, like I said, he would have to fight like counter punch and spoil a lot, but he didn't do that really. Not enough. He didn't. He should have made the fight more physical. Yeah, definitely. But he did not. He looked even scared, I would say, or even, at least too wary, too timid. And then, well, that's what you get. He got pounced by Joshua. His nose got broken in the fifth round, and that was it. Just as well, I think he would probably be knocked out in the next round. So, yeah, or the one after, or badly cut up, whatever. So, yeah. Yeah, so that was this card, the big finish of the year. Yeah, next year we have, of course, Fury versus Usyk. Yeah, big, big, big fight, as big as it gets. So yeah, but last night, oh no, it was good. It was enjoyable. I mean, not all fights delivered, maybe, but and some fights were too unevenly, matched, unfortunately. But that's sometimes that's how that's how it has to be. I'm not gonna say, oh, that's boxing today. No, no, no. It has to be sometimes. Like like you had, for instance. I mean, yeah, I mean, you had it before, right? You had Larry Holmes fight Tex Cobb. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so until next time, see you all, and keep enjoying your boxing. Bye.